Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball and Beyond. My name is Ryan.
My name is Vino.
And today we are looking at the Hero by Rayox, and we're here to answer the question, is it an everyday hero on the courts? So we were sent and already reviewed two paddles by Rayox. We had the Hurricane and the Storm, and just to phrase up those reviews quickly, crazy power specifically on the Hurricane. So we were super excited to get our hands on the Hero. So let's hear some of your initial thoughts on it.
Let's go off with the price, right?
Yep.
So this is coming at around $86 as of today. And we have a code, so check our code so you get further discounts. Overall, these guys seem to be coming up with some really interesting paddles.
Yeah, they all have fun designs on them too.
Yes.
I really appreciate
it. Very catchy, very standout. You know, you like how it looks like. This one especially, for $86, I think it can be an everyday hero. Good build quality, just like all of their other paddles. Standard body shape. How would you categorize this paddle?
So very easy to categorize this. Without a doubt, it's as far away from these two as possible. It is a control paddle, just absolutely, there's no debating.
And I think what's really nice is like when a company comes with like, I would say one of the most powerful paddles that we have tested.
Yep.
And then you have a paddle that, you know, comes cheap and has great control.
Yep.
It's very diverse as far as their brand goes. Get what I mean?
Yeah, one difference I'll mention right away as far as these is the grip. The Hero comes with actually a fairly wide grip out of the box. So if you have really small hands, you might have to look for a different paddle, unfortunately. But if you like that wider grip and it's a little rectangular, but that's one difference between their Hurricane and Storm here. These came with fairly narrow grips to start with, so just a little difference to point out, that they did modify that handle shape.
So let's go with functionality.
Yes.
Kitchen, control, we said it's a control paddle.
Yep. When I was at the kitchen, when we were just recording some of our B-rolls, I was consistently hitting this perfect backspin, has that right amount of dwell from the kitchen line where it feels very comfortable. And that's like my favorite part of using this paddle, is placing those dinks at the kitchen line and applying that spin to the ball. And then that control also stayed when I was moving further back. It has a decently forgiving sweet spot, but it's just really nice and soft for hitting resets. And it took me a little bit to adjust to hitting some third shot drops because it really dampens the ball. It's one of those control paddles where it just stays soft no matter how you're hitting the ball. There's some paddles where it feels like it still hits hard if you apply that power, but where this thing, it just always stays soft. So I want to transition right into the power. Spoiler alert, when I was hitting some speed ups, for example, testing the pop on the paddle, very little to speak of, right? It's just everything you hit with this paddle, I like call it a sponge essentially. And I was hitting drives from back here. I was able to get that ball to dip a little extra because it didn't come rifling off hot. And it actually got a decent amount of spin considering it is a painted surface, right? Which again helps keep the price down on the paddle. But yeah, those are kind of some of my thoughts on how it plays.
Yeah, and I think, again, when we test paddles, we test these premier brands that even pros use. And then we find paddles for $86 that works for the everyday person, right? And I think this is another good example where, like, if you are an everyday player, for $86, it gives you what you need. And I know we keep harping on this, like the control side of the paddle, right? And that's where this shines. You're looking for a control paddle, great. Let's touch a little bit on spin because everyone wants to talk about spin. It's a grid painted surface. So how it would last as it goes on, I mean, it's a new paddle, so we're only going to know as we keep playing with it. But overall, as a new paddle, how do you feel that spin?
Yeah, as a new paddle, I think some of this contributes to the dwell that we always talk about if you watch our videos. It got pretty decent spin. I mean, considering the price point, I'd say it was like fairly good spin that you'd expect, but it does get outshined by when you get into like some of those more premier paddles, right, for the spin. But hopefully that lasts. Again, you touched on the surface, but I think you'll still always get a decent amount of spin just due to the dwell on this that this paddle naturally has.
Yes, exactly. And very adaptable paddle.
Yeah, again, the only thing I had to get used to was there was a little less power than I was expecting for my drops, but that was just, again, it depends on what paddle you're accustomed to. After I got used to hitting that ball just a little harder, then I was good to rock this paddle.
Again, for the price point, I think it's a phenomenal paddle.
Yep.
Definitely something to check about. You know, we do want to do a series on like the best paddles for beginners or best paddles for under 99. This is definitely a contender.
Yes.
Please subscribe, please comment. If you want to try this paddle, reach out to us. Hope to see you in another paddle review.